can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Shorty, what you want? Shorty, what you need? My niggas run the game. We ain't never leave. Counting up this money. We ain't never sleep. You got V12. I got 12 V's. Got bottles. Got all the way up. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need.
Here we are, Basketball Thursday at the Lone Star Sports Show right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. Today's show is brought to you by FastMallSports.com. Fast Mall technology leading sports into the 21st century through the vehicle of technology. Snoop Johnson, Under Your Money, Lady Life.
Snoop Johnson.
Yeah.
That's like my boy Yayo used to say, Snoop Johnson.
Oh, that was announced over his spread?
No, Lil Yayo used to coach over there at Eastfield right now.
Oh, I know Lil Yayo.
Yayo, he called himself mimicking T. Harvey.
Oh, okay.
So when he come by, he says, what up, Snoop Johnson?
Snoop Johnson. That's T. Harvey. That's for sure. That's real talk there, man. But no, we get it in. Fast Mall Sports is making it all possible. Basketball Thursday. Got it all lined up here on the table to look at. Today was NBA trade deadline. 3 o'clock today. Was at 3 o'clock Eastern time or 3 o'clock what time?
I think it was Eastern.
3 o'clock Eastern time. Everything had to be done. There were two things that caught my eye. Well, I guess more than two. I mean, there were multiple trades, and we're not going to try to dive into everything that took place in the NBA today. But I like the fact of seeing Dwayne Wade finding his way, into retirement, going down to Miami and doing probably what was best for his family. And that was a good thing to do, a sharp thing to do.
Right.
Best. They've been doing the commute. They were knowledgeable. Gabrielle Union, that's wife or girlfriend?
That's his wife now.
Wife now, okay. All right. Yeah, wife. I thought she made a real eloquent communication to the media, to the press, or whatever about how they had gone about making their decision, the choices of family, and one thing you see is, as great as Dwayne Wade has been, there's life after basketball.
Yeah.
And we do all of these things that we do for a living to make the best life we can make for our families.
That's right.
So I had to really respect that piece and want to hand it over and excited about it. Now, is that the way you and Magic had it figured out for the for the Lakers and what y'all going to do, how y'all going to go about? Y'all got rid of my San Antonio guy.
We right where we want to be.
Right where you want to be.
Yeah.
Not in the playoffs.
So we right where we want to be. Ain't no need to go in the playoffs if you can't win it all. Don't nobody have a check by their name yet. Don't nobody have a check and X by their name yet.
Hey, y'all go. I had to take me a little gig, little dig there. We used to give Snoop a hard time on the playoffs back. What was that, about November, December? Yeah, it was back in November. What was that? Go ahead and get in.
Yeah, that was in November when he said they're going to win 50 games.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We might have a steak dinner or something. We got to go back and do like Big E does.
We got to go back to the previous episode.
check the tape and stuff.
We made a bet about that.
We're not supposed to be eating steak or nothing, are we, man? We're awfully quiet on me right there. There's always a sign of don't say anything and you won't make yourself guilty, huh, Snoop?
I just don't know why y'all are so excited right now.
We're excited because it's Basketball Thursday. We're not excited about.
It's early.
February.
We still got about 29 games left.
29 games. 29. We'll do the math on it. 29 get us to 50.
No.
How many teams gonna win 50 games this year?
No, we ain't talking about how many teams gonna win 50. Cause we giving you a hard time, Coach. You all right, man? We still love you. we always shooting high, Coach. We aim high. We aim high in L.A. La La Land, Coach. Like one of my comedian boys say, you a little sensitive there, huh?
we aim high. We aim high.
But nah, it's I thought
we beat the Spurs last time we played them.
That's a quality win.
Yeah.
It's not the NCAA tournament. You don't get in on quality wins. Right. Get in on wins.
Yeah. Ain't nobody in right now.
Ain't nobody in yet.
It's not one team with an X up there right now.
Nobody clinched, huh?
Guess what? All it takes is
why is clinched X's when you leave?
All these teams that both be sure things. All they need is one to go down like Porzingis did, and the whole world change. So let's wait till they get that X by their name.
Oh boy, we gonna be all right there.
Are we mathematically out of it?
No, I mean.
Are we 5 games out or 4 games somewhere in there?
You're 6 games out.
No, we ain't 6 games up.
But the paper say, man,
We not 6 games.
well, you like that. You argue with the signpost, man. What the paper say, man?
Who we 6 games behind?
New Orleans.
They must have played last night. We was 5 games yesterday.
Yeah, Coach, that's where it happened. Coach, it was yesterday.
Sorry, we got OKC tonight.
They owe y'all one.
Oh, I forgot we gonna be short-handed. No Clarkson.
Yeah, that's
We got to trade people. Our team might get on a private jet and come shoot all the balls up there. Come on over and shoot out. Hey,
it might shoot enough for them.
Coach, we got about 27 attempts a game for IT over there in LA.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Hey, he get them in.
We need a 5'9" 2 guard.
Yeah. They shoot a lot. Shoot a lot of balls.
I guess Shannon Sharp will kill us now.
It's gonna be all right.
LeBron, I got to give it to LeBron. Then boy, they are big time trade day deadline winners.
Oh yeah,
they are. I love their
explain that, Coach.
I love their roster, Coach. They got young, and they added defense plus offense.
Now you know what I took that as? It's stabilizing the fort before this boy runs out of there on.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was my.
They got younger. They got some more pieces.
Right.
They got some pieces.
They solidified a strong 2 guard. With Rodney Hood.
Well, if they choose to play him at the 2,
yeah.
I think they're gonna ride with JR. What it did. This is what you did in Cleveland. Early in the year, before Isaiah Thomas, I think they really killed the chemistry when Dwayne Wade came in and started. Because here we are, they've been to 3 finals in a row, and J.R. Smith was the 2 guard. Why are we replacing J.R. Smith and Big Thompson?
Yeah, J.R. Smith, he's not broke.
No, I'm saying, why are we replacing these guys and they've been to 3 state finals?
Yeah.
You basically telling them we need to upgrade them.
Yeah. What evidence do you have?
Upgrading with Dwayne Wade? Come on, man. Now what they did, they got rid of all these other guys, Shumpert and Channing Frye. Now I think Channing Frye gonna get a buyout from the Lakers. He gonna end up back in Cleveland. That's what I think. That's LeBron. Boy, LeBron ain't gonna hang you out to dry. He'll do what he got to do to make the deal work.
Come back and swoop you up.
It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing we want. We gonna buy Channing Frye and Lou Alding out. We gonna buy both of them out tomorrow.
Well, man, I think that some things.
I think Lou Alding don't even come to practice no more.
Went a good way. I haven't seen anything that's transpired in the trade process that was detrimental to any franchise.
No, I don't see that. I didn't see nobody throw the white flag in.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the Lakers. We potentially got a chance to be $70 million under the cap when the offseason comes.
Yeah. You're getting ready for Brum, huh?
We might bring Brum. Brum and Paul George.
Boy, it's gonna get.
If we get DeAndre Jordan.
If DeAndre Jordan, if we get them, we can't win 50 games. Then
we win 50 games.
We got to get. We might have to get an in-house psychiatrist around this camp, to keep Snoop sane. Boy, when Brum come and start playing the mind game. If
LeBron come to LA, Snoop gonna say they're gonna win 70 games.
I don't think it's gonna be Brum. I think Magic Johnson. I think we aiming at Paul George and DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah. I like that better than like Brum. What you gonna do with Brum? Brum going somewhere. Houston?
Brum gonna stay in the East, Coach.
Stay in the East?
Yeah.
He ain't coming over there to the West and have to work every night, huh?
Brum gonna stay in the East. His big brother might have went home before he went there. Brum might be going back to Miami.
Yeah. They just had the hurricane, so you think they might not be due for another hurricane for a minute. Go down there and they enjoy that South Beach world. That's their world now.
Yeah.
They like that. So I mean, you have to respect it.
Bron still got his house in Miami.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He's got a house in L.A. too, Coach.
He might have a house in Oklahoma. If you don't know. LeBron don't buy hotel rooms. When he go to a city, he say, "Give me a house. Give me a house, man."
They keep it locked in whenever you want to. Just make sure it's fly with
Go in there and lay that black card down there and tell him get the paperwork to him.
Yeah. Who's old Maverick? Maverick pick up the paperwork. Maverick probably got somebody to do the paperwork.
Maverick don't pick up them kind of tabs.
Nah. Maverick gonna negotiate stuff.
Maverick over there negotiating.
Yeah.
Maverick buying him a house at the same time.
Hey, just about to get to that point from all my sources tell me that he's done extremely well for himself.
Oh yeah. Put it on the credit card.
Running the agency,
That's how Shaq used to do it. Shaq came to Dallas and All-Star weekends,
Okay, I know,
Hey,
I know he bought one in Houston.
we staying out here. Then he turn around and say, let's buy this place.
Yep. No, that's totally what has
hometown, Manuel Moutier.
That was one of my main things I want to talk about.
Moutier is gone. He in the three-way trade. The Mavericks was in there. When I looked up and saw Mavericks and Moutier, I thought he was coming to Dallas.
Yeah.
Then I said, no.
Yeah, they
Part
got
of a
going to
three-way
New
deal,
York.
right?
He's going to New York, so I think they setting themselves up to do 1 year with my man Jared Jack, and then they might mess around and buy Jared Jack out with Porzingis out, and just see what they can get out of Moutier and see
Yeah,
if
they
he
still got that French point guard.
Yeah, got the French guy, but I think he can play the 2 too though.
Yeah.
Good combo. Yeah.
But see, I think they might move my man Jared Jack out, and see if Moutier these last 30 games or 29 games, see if he can pan out.
Well, guys, when we come back from the break, we're going to take a good look at what D1 leagues in the state of Texas and where we are and prospects of projections of which prospects of guys that teams that are actually in good places to get NCAA tournament berth. That's what we're going to take a look at when we come back. We got seven Division I leagues here in the state of Texas, and it's not looking quite as good. Had a few disappointments in a couple of the lower leagues. Like that cut right there, real deal there. But when we come back, we're gonna take a real good clean look at that and see exactly where we are. We still are in a good place. And we're gonna look at the Big 12. We're gonna look at Sun Belt, Southland, SEC, the WAC, the SWAC, and the AAC. When we come back from the break, Lonestar Sports Show, all things sports, all things Texas. Take a clean look at it. Back in 180 seconds with more Lonestar Sports Show.
Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon, now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining, looking like a Rob Liberace. It's all good from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city making pay. Throw up a finger if you feel the same way. Straight putting it down for California, yeah.
we are back at the Lonestar Sports Show. Coach, I'm trying to get a little West Coast
I
in.
don't
Come on with it, Coach.
sound like Pac. I sound like Pac right there. I don't bail.
That's the real deal right
tell
there.
you, boy.
That's the part. That's the part of rap I can understand. You know, that's the part I can.
I'm putting that on my bucket list. One night I'm just gonna go to the studio. I'm gonna give him $500 and tell him to put that on. I'm gonna record that song.
You're nice and
I didn't want to get in that rock. I didn't want to rock it just like Pac. I want to feel just like I was Pac.
Got Snoop Johnson getting his pocky in right here, right now. Y'all heard it live. Snoop Johnson getting his pocky in. Hey, we back here. All things sports.
I'm gonna let Honey go to LA and bring me some of that good back. Bring me some of that good back.
They gonna put you on the spot right there. They will always make it
I
back.
want to really go in there like Pac and rock. I'm gonna rock it just like Pac. Pac be holding head song. Just like that.
Be just like them cats up there, man. When the good first got legal up there in Colorado, they start trying to come through Dale Hard up there. Yeah. They just posted up on them with the dogs up there, boy.
Yeah.
They were catching cases like that. So, hey, y'all better think about that one a little bit forward.
Yeah,
right now, all things sports.
Rock it like Pac.
All things Texas right here, getting it all in right now. We said we're going to come back and take a look at where we are right now as far as everything goes in the state of Texas and what the prospects look like and as far as getting into the NCAA tournament. 23 Division I schools. Texas can no longer boast about having the most Division I schools in any state in the country. Well, California has added 2, and it surpassed us by 1, so they're at 24 now.
Okay.
They brought in 2 new Division I teams that will be coming.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
But in the AAC, we'll start right there. Not necessarily alphabetical order, but it's convenient. Cincinnati has it where it is. Wichita State stuff is still kind of goofy.
They're going to be getting ready to put the X beside Cincinnati in about a week or two, huh?
Yeah, they get right on for dinner. Yeah, because, I mean, they put on which way you want to look at it. They 3 games on that side and 3 games on that side. However you want to look at it. 3 games. You like look at the lost side or whatever.
Look like the races for that second spot.
Yep. Well, we got
both. The top 2 teams get a first round bye in the conference tournament, right?
You know, SMU is going to limp into.
Is that correct?
Huh?
First 2 teams, first, second place, get a first round bye in the conference tournament.
That's correct. That is correct
yeah.
in that deal. Anyway, you got those 10 teams. They
big game for SMU tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got
if they want to stay. I mean, a win tonight puts them a game behind Houston and a game behind Wichita State.
Yeah. Yep.
Depending on
the loss column.
In the loss column, depending on what happens with Wichita State and
going in with Shake Milton has a fractured wrist.
Yeah.
Dre Foster,
he's out.
Possibly season ending for sure. Possibly career ending.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. He suffered a real bad one in high school.
Yeah, I remember
it's the
that.
same knee. Yep. So tough situation there. They're gonna get a chance to get all they can get out of Jamal and what's the other guard from up in Arkansas.
Yeah.
That they took from up there.
He's been playing well. You know. Doesn't shoot it very well, but he
scores some.
He's a slasher. He creates so many steals. I look for SMU to take a few chances, trap a little bit, create a little offense, and then kind of get back, play some matchup zone.
Yeah, they got to try something, Coach,
because
they're going in there, and from all communication, Houston is going for the juggler.
They're supposed to be.
Yeah. You know, they're not taking anything for granted. You know, Tulsa's been landing there, getting a win here and there, but right now, out of that league. Going to with NCAA potential right now, it's the University of Houston, and I can't put a check by their name, but they're in position to control and manage their process in a real good way. So I mean, that's what we look like right there. So you can keep them chalked up if you want to, Coach. When we got one, got one NCAA tournament out of 23. Texas Tech, would you say, is a strong chance of can't miss?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we got 2. We counted it down in the state of Texas. Now we turn back around and we're sitting there in the Big 12 with the University of Texas, TCU, and Baylor. And you know, when you look at the situation that the University of Texas is in,
how did Texas become 5-6? They lost the other night.
Lost to Kansas State last night, Coach.
I told you about Kansas State. I'm about to hear about Kansas State.
I
thought Texas was coming on too, though.
Yep. You know, the Texas TCU game on Saturday is huge.
Was that at Texas or Kansas State?
That was at Texas.
They beat them in Austin.
They beat them in Austin.
It's a big win right there for Kansas State.
You know, you come back and now Texas has to come to Fort Worth. Baylor goes to Austin.
Lord, I mean,
Texas got to go to Norman. Texas has got to go up to Manhattan. And Stillwater's coming. That's the game I plan to go to.
Oklahoma State lost a big one to Baylor, didn't it?
Oklahoma State lost a big one to Baylor.
Boy, that
The game after the game got them.
That conference is something else, boy.
Yeah, conference is something else. And Texas still has to go to Lawrence. And then they
Lord,
got West
man.
Virginia coming in. I mean, that's their now. Out of these right here, we're looking at 7 basketball games left, and I'm saying to guarantee themselves into the NCAA tournament, they got to win 4.
You said 7 games. You said to guarantee themselves?
Yeah, I should give themselves a strong,
Give themselves a chance.
chance
Because that 4 could mess around and be Baylor, Oklahoma State.
Well, with the league getting 8 in, and right now they're 2, 3, 4, 5. They're sitting at 6.
Those 6 are going to be in.
Right. Yeah, those
Unless
6 are
the
going to
bottom fall out.
fall out, and could be a 7-1. They're saying 7 now.
Well,
out
cut
of
it
this
off.
league.
Cut off right there. Cut it off right there at Oklahoma. From Texas, from Texas to Baylor, it's still wide open.
Pretty wide open.
With 7 games left?
Yeah.
Oh, it's wide open.
Anybody with 7 games left, anybody that goes.
Really, with Oklahoma and Kansas State, it's still wide open. From them on down, it's wide open. But
Yeah.
I just don't see.
Now-
I don't see the bottom falling out with Kansas State and Oklahoma.
Now, what you just said right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're saying these other 5 are wide open. I'm saying 2 of these
'Cause
other
it's,
5.
it's wide open from Kansas State on down.
No, well, you saying from Kansas State on down.
I
including
don't
Oklahoma.
think nobody in besides Tech, Kansas, and West Virginia.
Well, you know, got to look. Okay, let's look at the business aspect of this deal.
With 7 games remaining,
If they're sitting on the bubble,
they get in.
Trey Young,
You know what I'm saying?
Trey Young gets them in.
But with 7 games left, Coach, look what that record could potentially be.
Oh no, anybody could take a crazy.
What you just said, that goes for Kansas State on down. If they can win 4 out of the last 7, any of them from Kansas State on down,
that wins 4 out of
they
last
need.
7.
You really need to win 4 out of the last 7.
Right.
5, and you're really good.
Right, and that's kind of where you are. Now, I don't see any possible way that there's a team down here that can win 5 of their next 7. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, you know.
Hey, Baylor did it one year, Coach.
Well, they get ready to get a chance, Coach.
They did it. They started.
Hey.
Big win over Oklahoma State.
Like we said in the hood.
Mike and those guys were playing well.
Like we used to say in the hood, ain't nothing but air and opportunity, Coach.
Had an opportunity. Which one of them games you said? The Oklahoma State and who game you said you going to?
I actually just realized with the date I'm not going to be able to go because of camp.
Which day was that? That 24, 25th?
Right.
That was the date that I was going to Kansas and Lubbock. Texas Tech up in
we
Lubbock.
talked about that too. Right.
Man.
Yeah. So, well, no, something's not matching up. That's a contradictory type thing. I'm saying that this right here, that's when
That's
we
camp.
That's camp, right? So you might be all right. They can't be in.
No. I said Kansas and Texas Tech.
You're right. Lubbock. You saying Lubbock and Kansas?
Yeah,
It's the same weekend.
Flip it over there and check it
No,
out.
you go right over there. You're right.
You looked it up that other day, man.
I looked it up that other day.
Go up there and hit Kansas or Texas Tech, one of them.
No, that's we looked it up another
24.
day. There it is, right there.
That's a hot date there.
Well, we'll both be on our telephones looking at it.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do. So we got to take care of first thing first.
That's right.
First thing first, find players, right?
What about where's the TCU and Texas Tech game gonna be played at? Oh, it got to be up in Lubbock. Got to be in Lubbock because they
So
played.
Tech already came down
played
here and beat them right down here.
That might be my trip to Texas Tech, that game.
There they are right there.
That might be my trip to Lubbock right there. I got to go up to Lubbock.
For some reason,
Probably
I
ain't
can't
gonna
go in either. Yeah.
Might ain't gonna be no snow on the ground or nothing. Then
Yeah.
that's the regional tournament weekend.
Yep, that's right. A lot of basketball right now. Right here on Basketball Thursday with the Lonestar Sports Show. Snoop Johnson, the Hall of Famer, Alan Branch, right here, giving it to you like it is. All things sports, all things
Let me
Texas.
ask you this, Coach. Iowa State is in last place at 3-8. Let's say they win 5 out of the last 7. What did that put them?
If they win 4 out of the last 7, they give them
But I'm saying, no, not at 3-8. They got to 5.
because they give them 7 wins right there.
They give them
If
7.
that means
But see, look at them in
but
the.
they're talking 7 and 8 out of this league.
But look at their preseason, Coach.
Hey,
They need more than that, Coach. Come on over to this 12 and 11. They need more.
yeah.
They got to win 5.
Well,
They
but-
got to
but-
win 5 and then try to win 2 in the tournament.
Okay, now we go. We're not even talking about what's going to go on in the Big 12 tournament.
That's
They
what
still
I'm
in
talking
Kansas City. They come here.
Can't see they ain't
Kansas
coming
City.
back down there no more.
Back in the old days, you remember
I
that?
don't know why they don't do that no more.
More. Yeah. Kansas
They want-
City worked them a good
They
deal.
want the Jayhawks bring all them folks in there, don't they?
Yeah. Oh man, Man, we were at the Sweet 16 over in Kansas City over there
Mm-hmm.
at the regional tournament, man. You know, and
Studs them got him in Kansas, didn't they?
beat them right there, Coach. I have never experienced anything in all of my days.
Y'all got him. I thought you said we got him. I thought I heard you say we got him. You heard that, Jerris? You heard that, Jerris? Jerris, you heard that? Jerris is a regular follower of the Lone Star Sports Show.
Is he really?
Him and the Kansas Jayhawks.
Jayhawks
follow the show.
Jayhawks not need to talk too.
Jerris, you hear what he said? He said we got him over there.
Oh boy, Jared, you gonna go for that, man? I know you're not gonna go for that. Jared might go for that though. You know, I know how y'all, you know, Stacey and Jared, y'all all get lined up and stuff.
I'm gonna see if Bill heard the show.
No, Bill too busy. Bill walk around somewhere with a shirt tail coming.
He ain't never too busy for the Lone Star Sports Show. You might hear anything. You might hear anything.
He go ask Jared, what did he say? What did Snoop say?
He definitely gonna ask Jared.
What did Branch say about it after Snoop said that?
That's right.
What did Snoop get on his side? As long as you keep them one down here, they know they're in good shape.
We got them.
We get it all around up here. Well, we can do this.
Big game for my man Marcus Garrett the other night. I remember you called me about it.
I called you about that deal. Conference USA, we come up with nothing right now.
Huh?
We come up with nothing.
North Texas 6-4, coach.
Yeah. Well, can they go to the NCAA tournament? Go to the.
All of them got to win the tournament.
Well, Middle Tennessee has the ability to get a bye.
But they got to
get an automatic bid.
But the bottom line is, all you want to do is get in that tournament, which is going to be at the Star. North Texas got a better chance than anybody coming to the Star.
Oh, hey, right there, Coach. But right now,
I'm gonna be sitting right there.
Yeah, I love Grant to death, and they right there, he local, and in Texas.
13-10, 6-5. He's 9-3 at home. See, that means everything. What you're doing at home. 9-3 at home.
Yep, we'll drive down the road a little ways.
6-4 in the conference, Coach. That's big.
It's right there. I mean, that's big first year. In
2 games behind Western Kentucky, man.
Yeah.
At Old Dominion, he 2 games back from being in second place.
Yeah.
3 out of the first place.
Coach, I could break down what their record is against these guys.
I ain't worried about what it is against them guys. I'm talking about what it is. We didn't do that with them other teams. They 3 games back from first place.
3 games back from first place. We
got
bleeding a little green right now.
And they got 7 games remaining too.
Yeah.
So like them other guys you were showing had 7 games
remaining.
So what? How many they got to win out of they 7?
Lone Star Sports Show right here. All things sports, all things UNT, North Texas Green. The North Texas has a valid chance of having an opportunity at the Conference USA tournament to make their way into the NCAA tournament.
Right. Let's pack it out. Pack out the Star.
Green.
Pack out the Star, North Texas.
Y'all go part it in. We'll be back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show as we continue on this NCAA rump around Texas to see who's going to make it to the big dance. Back in 180 seconds.
Bridge Basketball Skills Academy begins your road to success with our foundation classes. These classes were created for the beginning basketball player who needs fundamental training rather than game training. These classes provide a progressive mastery of skills that are unique in our industry. We focus on creating a strong foundation by learning technique rather than just focusing on dribbling, passing, or shooting. Our unique combination of a skills matrix within a creative learning environment allows our trainees to learn skills faster than if they just practiced general concepts of the game. It's not what we teach, it's how we teach it that makes the difference. Classes start at $30 for ages 7 and up. Sign up today when we get back on the line, or find more information online at bridgebasketballacademy.com.
Y'all trying to do 24 karat magic in the air. Hit the toe, so player. Look out. Pop, it's showtime. Showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up, I'm wearing Cuban links. Designer mix. Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to get the color red, the blues. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jocking. Keep up.
Back. Segment 3 of the Lone Star Sports show right here. All things sports, all things Texas on the Lone Star Sports Network. You got the Lone Star Sports show every Tuesday and Thursday. Thursday is Basketball Thursday right here from 6 to 8. Snoop Johnson, the Hall of Famer, Alan Branch, giving it to you like it is. Under your money, keeping us between the lines. Lady Life, hitting it on the ones and twos, making it do what it does. Lone Star Sports show here, giving it to you right here on Basketball Thursday. This particular segment is brought to you by Scout Focus. You hear more about Scout Focus as you look and listen here when we come to the break about the camp that they have coming in February the 24th and 25th, covering both Dallas and Houston. One of the more successful camps, and you go in and look and do your research, and we'll hear more about how they have gone about producing the level of players that they produce or the alumni that they are able to grace their covers and all of that.
We'd be in the house, won't we?
We'd be in the house, Coach. They get a chance to see our names there. Coach, I think they call you the Herald. The Herald Snoop Johnson.
The who?
As a term for being well known and well spoken, known around the country.
Well, I was just trying to get I was trying to
H-E-A-R.
I was trying to get the term.
Remember the Times
I was
Herald?
trying to get the term down. I mean, I knew it had to mean something big, and good. You know? I was just trying to get what it was. You know? So I can use. I might want to use it again.
Might want to use it again. Yeah, we'll let you take a look. I will show it to you here.
Yeah, I knew it couldn't be nothing bad.
You want to know the definition?
What's the definition for?
Be a sign something that is about to happen.
That's me.
That's
That's me.
That's you.
It's an acclaim, like
Yeah, that's me right there.
That's you.
That's
Coach?
me right there.
All right. Well,
Something always finna happen.
something always finna happen. There it is, right there, Coach. Let's see what they say.
Yeah.
Snoop Johnson. Yep. But no, that's.
You didn't send me that right there, Coach.
I just got that like
Okay.
about 30, 40 minutes ago.
Okay.
That's for Lady Life. That's what
Okay.
Lady Life doing.
Okay.
Yeah, like we're gonna use that too, though.
All right, let's talk about basketball, man.
Yeah.
I just looked at the Southland Conference. Southland Conference looking tough over there.
Yeah,
I ain't know
we got Sam Houston.
I ain't know my boys was down there about fourth
Stephen
place.
Alford.
Fourth or fifth place.
Fifth
wasn't
place. Probably more like fifth place.
It don't matter. You still got to win the tournament.
So you got to win the tournament. Now, I mean, they have been known to get at-large bid. This is not an at-large bid year. When Stephen F. Austin was really, really good.
Nah, ain't nobody gonna get no at-large bid over there.
No.
They did get it one year, didn't
Yeah,
they?
we did get it 1 year. Yep. This is not the year though. But Sam Houston State. One thing I've kind of watched about that deal is kind of like you say, going back to the tournament. Because you got to realize you got 9-2, 9-3, 9-3, 9-3, 7.
I'm just impressed with the job that Amaro and those guys are doing over there at Nickel State.
Now you know what's interesting. You got to
know
go. Yeah, no, I agree. One of our guys. What you got to take a good close look at is this is what's scary about Stephen F. Austin. And I don't have time to
13-0 at home, ain't they?
13-0 at home.
They don't play the tournament at home though, do they?
But they don't play the tournament at home.
Okay.
No, they don't play the tournament. They play the tournament in Houston unless they moved it. Yeah. But
New Orleans won it last year, didn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
They
my
went to
man.
the-
That's my man over there in New Orleans.
That's your guy over there.
Jody.
Yeah, Jody.
Jody's still at New
assistant,
Orleans,
right?
ain't he?
Yeah, he's assistant
Yeah.
over there. I thought you were talking about my guy's the
I don't know the
head coach over there.
I don't know
I know
the
the
head
head coach over there.
I know Jody.
Can't call his name right now.
I know Jody.
But yes, I mean it's rough this year in the Southland Conference. You got Incarnate Word at 0-11, HBU at 1-10, Texas A&M Commerce at 5-6, Abilene Christian at 6-6, Lamar at 7-5.
Coach, let me ask you, why did you start at the bottom? Are you trying to tease those guys?
Coach, you talk about the guys in the Region 14.
I'm saying,
I had to start somewhere.
I'm saying, why'd you start at the bottom, man? You trying to tease those guys, man. Now, you should have started at Lamar and worked your way on up.
Working way up. Don't even talk about the bottom.
Guy might not even make it to the tournament. Does everybody get in the conference tournament?
No, these two right here don't.
Huh?
These two spots right here don't.
Or it's just two?
Yeah. Don't look too
But
good.
nah,
Right
man,
there.
that one team only won one game, so it's out of them three.
Yeah, so they
That's
might
a
be
long
there.
jump up to Corpus Christi. So
That was a jump ball. These
yeah,
three right here fighting.
don't call them three out no more.
Don't call it three.
No.
One of them three gonna make it, Coach.
I'm saying, you trying to, one of them is.
Yeah.
I'm going with Incarnate Word.
That's your buddy Burmeister.
I'm going with Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
John, I'm going with John, and you got John down there, Burmeister.
Yeah.
You got what's the name down there? Big Spirit, Big Kenyon.
Big Kenyon Spears, yeah. No doubt about that. But you know, it's been a long time, Coach, since TSU and the SWAC has sit down in the fourth place.
Well, coach know it's all about the tournament.
No, it is all about the tournament.
What he's doing right now, I watched him play. He's building some depth.
Nope.
He's building some depth.
Yep. Well,
Depth depth or whatever, however you pronounce it.
Yeah, I mean that's about a
DEP,
tomato. You can't be wrong on that one. We'll let you.
He's building a lot of personnel. Put it like that.
Yeah, he's gonna be ready to go and ready to get after it. So I mean that's the situation. Is this Byron's? This is Byron's second year, isn't it?
Third.
Is it
Third. Any of those teams can win. No, it's second year. You're right. Second year.
Right.
Any of those teams right there that you got your hand on can win that tournament. Go on down some more.
Yeah. I mean, that's all we got in Texas.
All the way down to Alabama State, all of them can win the tournament right there.
Yeah. Well, you've done a little bit better.
They play on Big Monday, Coach.
They play on Mondays. That's right.
Yeah. They give them 2 games.
Mondays are they still on ESPNU?
ESPN.
Yeah, you
get 2 of them on Monday.
Yeah,
of 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock.
Oh, and T. Harvey was over there. It was regular. I mean, that was what we did. We had game day.
Yeah.
Right there in 3rd Ward.
Yep.
Go to the Sun Belt League. Texas State has done a good job. They're 7-5.
They both right where they need to be.
You know,
them and
another one of those tournaments.
They both right where they need to be. They right where they need to be.
You know, we thought UTA. I mean, if I had to guess at UTA, I would say they would be 8-3 somewhere along in there right now.
But last year they hoisted the regular season trophy. That don't mean that much to them right now. Mm-hmm. They playing for one thing, Coach.
Well,
they playing for one thing.
No, it's the only thing that matters is the NCAA.
And you got to have some depth to get out these conference tournaments. You got to have something off that bench. And that's what these guys, you put up.
Develop depth.
He don't want a back-to-back conference champ. I mean, he would take it if it came the way he wanted.
Right. No,
he want that. He want to get to the NCAA tournament right now. Cause
no, NCAA tournament.
They want the free Beats by Dre and and the gift bags and all that kind of stuff.
Lay it all out.
Yeah, they want a new package from Adidas to send them some road tournament gear. That's what they want.
Yeah. No, that
ain't nobody worried about no conference trophy no more.
No, I mean, right now, I mean, that has to be important to them, and I understand what you're talking about, depth. There's some rational theory in what you're saying. Hopefully that's what they're thinking too at the same time.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. Yeah. But right now we got about 3 teams from the that we feel like are strong and have a chance. First year with UT RGV, I guess it's actually year 1. Excuse me, year 2. Yeah, with them. In that situation there, and we're only at 500 right now, and got a good group of guys coming in, and got another good recruiting class this past year.
Yeah.
So it's starting to. That's a turnaround, rebuilding process.
They're doing a hell of a job over there at New Mexico State.
Yep. So right now, I'm going to say the number for Texas teams in the NCAA tournament is 4. It's probably 3.
In what league?
All 23. All 23 teams. All 7.
You think 4 of them can get in the tournament?
NCAA tournament, right.
It'd be more than that.
Be more than that? Where they going to come from, Coach? I got a little time here.
Going to win these conference tournaments, Coach.
Okay, well, give me some conference tournaments. Okay,
it's too early for that. Too early for that.
Too early for that?
It's too early for that.
We got the WAC situation right there.
It's too early. Too early for that.
Yeah, got the Sun Belt situation. I do agree with you there. You got a strong chance between Danny Casper and Scott Frost. One of those guys have the ability because of the quality wins they have in their league. Mm-hmm. You roll on down to the SWAC.
You got to realize TSU and PV going to be playing right at home.
Yep, playing right there, sleeping in their own bed. Mm-hmm. No, that makes a difference. And we come down to right here, we got a strong chance right here for Sam Houston.
Stephen F. Austin, they got a pedigree, Coach.
Yeah, they got a pedigree, and they got a chance to use it.
Lamar make the tournament.
Yep.
Anybody can win it, Coach. What are they? You said they're going to still play their tournament in Houston, right?
Yeah.
Lamar got a chance. Stephen F. Austin, Coach, that means something.
Yep. Well, there you go. Your one bid league, Steve. Snoop Johnson is saying rest on it. You know who we skipped over?
Big win from A&M last night.
That's a topic of the day right now on Basketball Thursday.
Big win last night.
You talking about somebody that needs clicking on, Coach? Let's click. Let's
go. What do you expect? They starting 4 kids out of Dallas. Yeah. 4 kids out of the mighty DFW area.
They recruited 4 kids, Coach. They're 4 best players.
I mean, when you starting 4 kids out of Dallas, Coach, you get big wins like that.
Get big wins like that.
Big wins like that.
Well, they got a chance. They got Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Georgia, and Alabama.
You know what I like? You know who I like to see get a little more time down at A&M? JJ, is it Chandler?
He was getting a lot of time, Coach. Everybody done got their share of time down there. If you go back and look at the,
I like to see JJ Chandler get.
Coach, he was getting 20 minutes a game at one point.
Yeah, I like to see him getting 25.
Yeah,
27, 28 minutes, man.
Yeah, well,
JJ Chandler.
We had a visit with Billy about that. Billy.
I just say what I like to see. You visualize yourself coaching the team. Sometimes you're coaching the team on TV, just watching.
Yeah.
Billy know what he's looking at.
Yeah.
He got the pulse for his team. Okay, who do they finish? Let's go over A&M finishing up the year. They got Kentucky this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll get that. At home, big crowd, I think they'll get that. Missouri going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah, got to go to Missouri.
And they already beat Missouri. Right. See, just because they beat Missouri. You see what I'm saying? They beat Missouri early, Kurt.
Mm-hmm. Beat them by 11
Up down there in College Station.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Arkansas, A&M got the matchup right there. I think A&M will get Arkansas.
It sounds good on paper.
Yeah.
I don't want to count Mike out on that one because I mean they're gonna coming out with their hands up.
It's gonna be tough.
There's no doubt about that. Mississippi State is a sneaky one. 6 o'clock.
A&M got a favorable schedule.
They have a very favorable schedule right now. But I mean, when you have that much talent, I mean, I think possibly the two toughest games are Vanderbilt and Alabama.
The two toughest games. Oh no, go. Beat the brakes off Vanderbilt.
But that's how much talent A&M has. Is when you look at it against anybody on paper, that's why they were preseason. What they were, you look at them on anybody on paper, and they look postured to beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah. Kentucky, Missouri, and Alabama going to be their toughest three out of them 7.
I think Kentucky come in there like they're right there, wound up where they are with talent, older guys like that.
Depending on where that Mississippi State game is being played at.
Yeah, Mississippi State game is.
If you look at Mississippi State record, they ain't nothing on the road. They poor on the road.
They at College Station, so I like that.
They gonna get the brakes beat off.
I think going to Georgia.
Where they playing the Georgia game at?
They play in Athens, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a tough deal, man.
They gonna beat the brakes off. What's the name? Mississippi State.
Well, Coach, we know we got some people coming in later on this evening. We got some other things we're going to do. We're going to move out of. That's going to conclude our college breakdown. Allen Branch is projecting 4 NCAA tournament berths for the 23 teams, Division I teams we have in the state of Texas.
I got to count mine up, and I'll give it to you later.
Maybe bring it back in.
You counted yours up this afternoon.
I count them up right here in front of us, right here in front of God and everybody.
I'll give you mine later on.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get yours together, and we'll let you come back together. We got the Lone Star Sports Show on the Lone Star Sports Network every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8. Go hit share on all of your experiences right there on YouTube. You can get us also on the LoneStarSportsNetwork.com, but mainly hit share and continue to grow this process. The way it's growing, there's a lot of information and things to be putting out about all things sports, all things Texas, right here in the Lone Star, Texas, in the Lone Star State. Hey, we'll be back in 180 seconds with more. Right now, this particular segment was brought to you by Scout Focus. I'm going to continue to let you know some things about Scout Focus Camp as you get a chance to take a look right there as a visual of what will be going on February the 24th and 25th in both Dallas and in Houston. On February the 24th and 25th, you get a chance to get Scout Focus. The Texas camp will be covered by Snoop Johnson Basketball Report, where it'll be covered there. Honor Your Money with TexasBoysBasketball.com will be there, I know, on Saturday and maybe Sunday also. Myself, Allen Branch, will be there in Houston covering what's going on with TexasBoysBasketball.com in Houston, Texas, in the greater Houston, Texas. One of the things that you get to experience when you go to this is that the video going out, the scouting report that goes out to the number of Division I subscribers. They're big on the video part of it. And as far as myself, Allen Branch, and Snoop Johnson, I can speak for him, we are in the business of locating players and finding players. We don't walk in the gym just because we like hanging out in the gym. We walk in gyms because we are looking for players. So we roll in, that's what we're looking for. So if you're there, we'll be part of the CAP's evaluating staff at both of those places. If you can play, you do your part, we'll do our part. See you on February the 24th or 25th in Houston or Dallas, and let us get our eyes on it. My man always say, we trust our eyes. Back with you more in 120 seconds with the Lone Star Sports Show.
To the beat, always sure look sweet. Fine young lady standing by. Come on, baby, see the you move. You look so sweet and you're moving to the Money in my pocket. Place is right. You're shaking. The shaking all around. Love the way you move, girl. Now I'm getting down. Get down. Say ho. You said. Say ho.
Hey, here we are back here at the Lonestar Sports Show right here. Getting in. All things sports, all things Texas Day Show is brought to you by Fast Small Sports Technology. Fast Small Sports Technologies is leading us into the 21st century through the vehicle of technology in basketball. Go take a look at fastsmallsports.com and see all of their products. One such is active right now is Fast Recruit as we get ready to move into the recruiting season and Division I coaches get out and start tracking prospects. On a little bit more of a serious note, I hate to have to address it, but I have to address it. You know, I thought I would let it go, but we've had some things that transpire in the last few weeks in some of the gyms. I don't want to start trying to point all the fingers at what happened where. This is not even about the incident. It's about the climate and culture in which we're in and the responsibility that we have as adults in a business that we're in of influencing and helping and supporting and guiding kids, you know, through their dream and supporting their dreams and helping them reach their dreams. And so I mean, you know, the biggest thing is that I'm concerned about is how we conduct ourselves as adults. What kind of examples are we putting forth? How do we go about utilizing social media? How accountable are we to the children?
Yeah, I mean the kids still they got to be accountable. The kids have to be accountable. These kids are 16, 17, 18 years old. They got to be accountable. They're watching the NBA, coach. Just had this conversation last week. You watched. I watched Jalen Rose and those guys talking about it just the other week. They was talking about the guys with all of this fighting, you know, and getting ready to fight. Mm-hmm. Charles Barkley said it. He said
probably doing more woofing than anything.
Just woofing.
Right. Yeah.
Just woofing. But these guys are watching that on TV, coach. Mm-hmm. And then what you just saying, the social media part is the build up.
Yeah.
That's the build up. Mm-hmm. You know, you win, you lose. I mean, hey, go out there and play it on the floor. All that energy you got after the game and all that ain't gonna do nothing. It's nothing you could gain in a postseason, nothing.
Yeah. Well, and the deal is, coaches, and I still say you actually made my point for me when you said the fact that these guys are sitting and watching NBA guys and how they behave and how they go about. That influences their deal. And I mean, I think that when I say accountability in adults, I'm not just talking about the adults in Oak Cliff. I'm not talking about the adults in Dallas. I'm not talking about just adults in Texas. As a whole, as a society, in a sports society, we do have the responsibility as role models to function and carry ourselves in a particular way.
Well, you said it, Coach. You said it earlier. Social media allows the nobodies to become somebodies.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what social media does. And anybody can go in there and create a nice hashtag or create a nice little picture on there and design it real nice to look like what they are, whatever, you know what you do.
But, Coach, anybody can go and buy a gun, too.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? Everybody has access to buy guns if you haven't been, you know, stricken from the list or whatever, where you don't have access to do that.
And that's unnecessary. That was just unnecessary the other night. And, you know, all the little woofing in the games and all that, it's unnecessary.
Yeah, right.
It's unnecessary. I mean, and the bottom line is, and the crazy thing about it, the people that they're going to really go after, they're going to go after the coaches. And my thing is, out of Chris Dyer and Corey Chisholm,
it could be two found.
But I'm saying, which one of those guys had any clue, shaking hands, that these kids was gonna get into it like that?
Well,
come on, man.
You know, and you don't know it. And sometimes as adults, we don't really know what's brewing. Sometimes you
don't have a clue what's brewing.
Yeah,
you know.
So I mean, this is not about a blame situation, Coach. Blame is not going to do anything. That's all I saw on social media today was finger pointing and blame.
Well, Coach, I mean,
does that solve anything?
But Coach, social media on a day-to-day basis, they're looking for something to talk about. Okay.
Well, the operative word is media.
But they're just looking for something to talk. Social media, that's right. Mm-hmm. They're looking for something to talk about. It ain't got nothing to do with the incident and how big of a deal. Because You're going to have half of them saying something should happen to the coaches. They're going to blame the coaches. Then when they blame the coaches and the coaches get in trouble, they're going to turn around and say, why would they do that to the coaches? They're going to turn around and flip it around.
They say they could go about, expressing their opinions and this and that. Yeah. But my real thing for bringing up is that because as we get ready to go into the playoffs and we get ready to go into the grassroots season, there's just not any room for that coaching business.
It's not.
I mean, the business is too much. It's too much on the line.
The only thing that should happen, they go look at the film real good, identify the players, just like they do the NBA, college. They identify the players. They don't go in and forfeit the school. If it was 12 players, them 12 players need to be punished.
Yeah. Right.
Period.
I definitely agree with that. There's no doubt about that.
Coach, it's nothing that those coaches could do but stop the fight.
Right. No, that's all they could do.
Now, if you look on the film and the coaches fighting, that's different.
That's different. Or not restraining. Or not
restraining.
Right.
And you saw if you saw.
I don't see anywhere. I mean, I hear you talking about the coaches.
I just hope the UIL and those districts do the right thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
You cannot blame the coaches. You cannot blame the coaches. The kids have to be held accountable.
You can't blame the coaches. You can't blame the school administration. You can't blame
no. You really can't. You can't hold those guys.
But you're gonna see, Coach. I mean, you always talk about those ISDs and UIL. Watch how this thing go.
Well, they start saying, "Do we take the right action and make sure that they want to look in the right political light in a situation like this?"
Yeah. Well, I know DeSoto already have taken some actions.
Okay. So they already started to do
it.
Yeah. And Alan Branch didn't come tonight to talk about what the penalty should be, who imposed this, imposed that. What I came to talk about is all the woofing and digging and blasphemous, crazy, nutty stuff that goes on social media. You've been given a smartphone that you pay for to utilize it just like you've been allowed to drive your car. That don't mean you drive it on the sidewalk. That don't mean you drive it through people's yards. There's got to be some level of sensibility the way we act, because believe it or not, the kids are sitting there saying, man, you see what Coach so-and-so said to so-and-so? Ha, 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 ha. They shouldn't see adults handling themselves in an inappropriate way. Coach, you and I have
Coach, I sit there and listen to them in the stand. And people,
there you go. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And people had a nerve to ask me if Snoop, when you going to get back out there?
Right. Because people don't even know, and I don't even really want to speak for you, but half the time the reason I don't sit in the stands, I stand on the baseline try to get away because I'm trying to stay away from all the craziness.
I'm going to tell you this.
The distracting things.
I'm going to tell you this, and if Snoop Johnson ever get back on the sideline, I'm going to be chasing the national championship. That's it. That's it, Coach.
Well, I know that to be a fact.
It could be a long. It could be a long shot, but if I ever get back on the bench, that's when I'm.
That's the only goal.
That's the level I'm coaching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the only thing that you have aspired. That's a personal thing, a personal goal. That does not knock anybody else's goal. But
no.
And the point that I'm getting at, the only reason I'm talking about this and taking up valuable time, because I spend my time trying to figure out how to show kids in a light, how to enrich the process, how to build a community, how to build up my peers, how to build up young men that want to coach, young men that want scholarships, young men that are making their way. How can we support that where it's a positive energy? You look all the way through my Twitter account over the years with 10, 11,000 followers, and everything that we do is never about negativity. Sometimes I am disappointed, even how I express myself about this particular deal. I had to think long and hard, but when I decided to say I was going to say something, I said I will express my concerns about the overall social and political perspectives that influence the youth and scholastic climates of today's sports landscape. And when I say today's sports landscape, we don't have a monopoly on this. This just happened to happen in our backyard. It happened up the freeway. It happened down in Kuntz the other day. If you go and Google and come up with sports melees, they're littered with them. Coach, I mean, thousands of them.
Which all you got to do is Google it.
All you got to do is Google it or YouTube it. Man, it's just popping up. They fighting here.
Oh, I didn't see some
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, we all seen them over the deal. But the deal still comes back to kids choose to look at what's appropriate and what's acceptable based on the way that we go about behaving as adults. And I totally believe that. You hear me speak all the time. Kids don't have any credit cards. They don't have any money. They don't control the keys to the car. When we as adults become accountable and how each and every one of them comes out of a household and on our presence acts, then you'll have less of this. We can't condone this by the way that we treat each other as adults. That's what makes it that situation. So what I have to say to the community is, hey, let's take some responsibility. Let's not go along. Let's not laugh at inappropriate behavior. Let's not make a joke about things that aren't right. Let's take things serious and be accountable as adults to each other and then to the children too. And student athletes. That's it from Alan Branch and TexasBoysBasketball.com and Lone Star Sports Show at Lone Star Sports Network and Texas Grassroots Basketball and Alan Branch, the individual, as a man. I cover all the bases, Coach. Could I give a cover?
You covered it, Coach.
I covered it. All right, I want to make
You
sure
covered it. You covered it.
Yeah, I want to make sure.
Can't nobody knock that one.
No, nobody. Nothing that I represent is about kids acting a damn fool, Coach, or the adults doing it either.
That's right.
Right. So that's what we need to look at on this situation. Yeah. Who did this? Who said this? What that? It never should have happened. And we should be living in a society where it does happen. That's not what sports is all about, Coach.
That's it.
Coach, we used to play soccer in Roosevelt games and play hard as hell. And
don't even have to worry about all that kind of things.
No, me and Anthony Gully would meet at the center of the field and talk about he was going to TCU, I was going to University of Texas, and what life would hold after that. I remember my last game in the Cotton Bowl. Wasn't anything about a melee and those kind of things, man. Yeah. And if it was heard of, Rabbit Thomas knew him going to march our ass in the office and line up.
Handle up, huh?
He going to handle up, Coach. Grab the desk. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying we're going to go back to corporal punishment, but certain things shouldn't be acceptable. And the adults shouldn't condone it. We shouldn't make fun of it. We shouldn't laugh at it. It should be a joke. It should be taken serious. A kid should feel a sense of inadequacy and inappropriateness when he's cussing, acting a fool, and there's an adult present. You can't feel comfortable doing that and walking by and doing those kind of things. And that's the things that continuously allow them to get a little farther out of line, a little farther out of line. Next thing you know, they run around, be this, be that, all that in front of ladies and stuff.
All that foolishness.
All that foolishness, Coach. I mean, Goree Johnson ain't never allowed you and your crew over there to act like that.
No.
It just wasn't allowed. That's where the accountability is in it. Y'all can go on, may not appreciate Mr. Branch is old-fashioned. That's some BS to what happened. And for us to condone it and create an environment that's conducive to it happening is not a good thing. Look in the mirror.
Who you talking to? You say y'all can,
us as adults, we're driving these kids. We're coaching these kids in camp. We're around. We're parents.
You just said y'all.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking to any adult that has a young adult or a kid or a teenager or a child in their presence should never condone inadequate activity, inadequate behavior, and also they should never represent it between themselves. You know how when your mother, I don't want to speak for Goree and his wife, but I know in my household there were certain topics and things that were talked about that children had to leave the room. Children wasn't prepared to deal with it. We got too many kids and too much grown folks' business, man.
That's right.
And grown folks need to know how to manage their business appropriately.
Right.
And not all over social media. That's the whole deal where I'm coming from, man. But
I just told you the situation, Coach.
Yeah, you broke it down, Coach. We got it still doesn't make it right.
No, it don't make it right.
Don't make it right. But we got a brighter tone to move toward, and what we all about here at Lone Star Sports Show. When we come back, I think we're going to be bringing in a 2019 point guard to stand out over at
Justin
Northwest, where he is the 2019 kid.
He's trying to take his team back, Coach.
Yeah, they're trying to take his team back.
We're gonna get a chance to see what's the plan.
Yeah, see what the plan. A fine kid and fine family.
Yeah, he got some. He's just like LeBron. LeBron got some new guys in free agency to try to help him get there. He got a couple of guys.
Got a couple add-ons. You got add-ons and some grow ups.
Well, you got to grow up. You got to grow an area out there in that Justin area.
I'm not totally familiar with. I take your words a lot of that. But right here at the Lone Star Sports Show, we come back. We'll have an interview with Avery Anderson, 2019 point guard, a top 10, top 15 player in the state of Texas.
Avery Anderson Jr.
being recruited. Avery Anderson Jr. Avery Anderson Sr.
We're gonna get senior. We're gonna get senior on too.
Be back in about 45 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show. This particular segment is brought to you by the Lone Star Challenge. Lone Star Challenge will be coming April the 20th through 22nd, right there at Cedar Hill and DeSoto High School, during the NCAA live period, where we're projecting plenty of universities and colleges will be in the area and prospects there for them to watch. Be good and hot doing in Dallas for sure. April 20th through the 22nd, Lonestar Challenge right there at Cedar Hill, Duncanville, Texas. Partnered up with Under Armour and their national perspective on the sport of Under Armour basketball. Back in about 30 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show.
Major bag alert.
DJ Khaled.
I got them keys. I got them keys. I got them keys. I got them keys. We go to court, we gon' plead the fifth. I know the judge, I'ma shoot him some chips. I got them keys. I got them keys.
So he's asking me the key. Till you own your own, you can't be free. Till you own your own, you can't be me. How we still slaves in 2016. Keep the light, keep a bag coming. Every night another bag coming. I ain't been asleep since 96. I ain't seen the back of my eyelids. I've been speeding through life with no safety belt. One-on-one with the corner with no safety help. I put fun like Josh Norman. I ain't normal. Just a project out in Beverly Hills, California. That rape talk. That's fun. Special golf talk here. On my from the mud, down there, all my millionaires. We gon' take it there, I swear. You gon' think a psychic. You ain't seen nothing like this. I should probably copyright this. I promise they ain't gon' like this.
I got them keys. I got them keys. I got them keys. I got them keys. We go to court, we gon' plead the fifth. I know the judge, I'ma shoot him some chips. I got them keys. I got them keys. Radar, oh, ain't even on my radar.
Swish.
Radar, oh, you ain't on my radar.
Swish.
Radar, no, you ain't on my radar. Swish.
Lone Star Sports Show right here. All things sports, all things Texas.
Gotta start paying
Today's show
attention,
is
man.
brought
Come
to you, man. 'Cause I knew what was going
Gonna
on,
be-
Coach. You
gonna
know
be
I pay
the-
attention.
Gonna be the lead guy. You gotta pay
To
attention.
the
man.
league guys.
Yeah.
You talking about league guys. We got the finest one.
come
We got
on,
one of the finer league guys in the state of Texas and in the country right here.
I understand
On the
that.
phone with us right now. Avery, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Okay. How's everything going over there at Justin Northwest?
Good.
Have a good day at school
doing
today?
good. Yeah, we had school.
Yeah. I just said, did you have a good day at school today?
Oh, yes, sir. I had a good day at school.
Okay, that's good. That's
Come on,
good.
man. Come on, man. Ain't nobody got time to be talking about if he had a good day at school. We talking about some basketball.
Man, we're going to talk about student athlete.
Hey, Avery. What's up, man? It's Coach Snoop.
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
I'm good. Cause we got New Orleans finest right here on this line right now.
I know, man. I know. I got a good relationship with the people.
I'm just
You know,
saying.
the thing to get
I don't want you.
gets
Now,
me, Mr.
wait a
Johnson.
minute. Now don't get on the line and start trying to
Mr.
kiss.
Anderson.
Don't start kissing ass now.
He acts like I've never met you before.
Yeah.
We went in Indianapolis in the rain and cold. We introduced ourselves and we walked and talked and visited about things, so we know each other.
Yeah, we want.
Because I don't do all that flamboyant stuff that you do. I don't have a good relationship, Coach.
Hey, Lil Avery, this is the only question I want you to ask, and I'm just gonna sit back,
Okay.
cross my arms. I want you to ask Mr. Branch, how did he come up with how many players you got ranked in front of Avery?
How many players you got ranked in front of him?
Oh, I go back over.
We got 13.
Let's talk about it.
13.
Yeah, 13 in the state.
Number 14.
His daddy will tell you why the ones I told him is in front of him.
Yeah. Well, he never asked me
But
why I
guess
thought it was
what?
in front of him.
He fixing it now, though. He fixed that, Coach.
Yeah.
The ball, the ball's in his hands. The ball's in his hands.
No, man, Avery, you're fine.
Yes, sir.
You're a fine
That's
player.
right.
Don't get caught up in that grown folks nonsense right there.
I like what Avery. I like what you said on your article with the news station the other day when you interviewed and you know told them, hey, you know we back. We learned what happened last year, and we going. You didn't say we going back to get to Austin. You said we going back to win a championship.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Y'all have a championship type operation. I missed the game over at Whataburger in the second half. I think that was on Saturday, honey, when he had
Yes,
the
sir.
20 point second half over at Whataburger.
Oh, that was the first day.
That wasn't the first day when that second half.
Yeah, that was against Sam Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
it.
sir.
Okay. All right. Because I had gone over.
You were at Allen.
Yeah, I went over to the other venue. I was there for half a day.
You was over there watching one of them 12 players you got in front of Avery.
No, I was actually trying to find another one of them guys in his class to,
You looking
to
for
go up with him.
Hey, that's what I want to hear. You always looking for one.
I'm
now.
always looking for
Yeah.
one. I was looking at
You like to shake the trees a
I
little
was over there
bit.
looking at the big fella from Austin.
That's right.
Otis,
That's right.
Otis Thorpe's son.
Avery, tell us the plan, man. Tell us the plan. You know, you and Coach Hatch, I know the season over, you know, and I know how it is when you got your star player by you. You know, the coach always, sits down all season and talks about ways to get back. What's y'all playing? And tell the people that hadn't seen Justin Northwest play this year, they haven't seen Avery Anderson, they haven't seen this team. Why is this? Why does this team have just as good a chance as any in region and not Class 5A? Why do y'all have just as good a chance as anybody to cut down the nets in San Antonio?
We ain't scared of nobody. Like we gonna go at you however we feel, and we gonna come out and do whatever we need to do to get the dub.
Okay.
Like that first thing. I like how the first thing you said, we ain't scared of nobody. We ain't scared. We are not scared of nobody.
In Region 1, right?
Yes, sir.
I love that.
No, I ain't team.
I love that.
Is that right? Is that correct? Region 1?
Yeah, that's what they're in Region 1.
Region 1, yeah. Well, I have to go along with you from a personnel situation that I like the team chemistry. There are a couple other pretty talented teams in that league, but I like y'all's team chemistry. But I wanted to talk about how you see yourself as a college player and the direction that you see yourself going. Obviously, you are in a group that traditionally over the last 15 years on my list have always played at a high level, have always gotten a high-level scholarship or a high-level opportunity. When you look at leagues, is there any league or any situation that you feel like I could really play in that system, or I really like this, or I really like that?
Yes, sir. It's a couple
that
I really like, that I have my eye on right now. It's TCU that I'm liking right now.
Okay.
SMU, LSU, and OSU.
Okay. Well,
and Texas A&M.
Okay. Well, one thing I can say about it is it's as much as it's about programs, it's about the head coach, and you just named probably 5 of the finer men, went from Will Wade to Mike Boynton, Jamie Dixon.
Yes, sir.
Those guys, I left 2 of them out that you called out. Tim
Jankovic.
And still one more you called out.
Billy Kennedy.
Billy Kennedy.
Yeah, Billy Kennedy.
Yeah, one of my guys that I maintain a strong relationship with and could be the senior in the finest. And he's a Louisiana guy, and I know you guys have some Louisiana ties.
Big Avery ain't going to let you forget that, Coach.
No, I know Billy, man. Billy and I got a good relationship. I take Billy. We talk all the time.
He got strong roots.
Look at
Billy got strong roots.
No, Billy goes back with deep Louisiana ties. A lot of people don't understand that. They're not really into it. I mean, goes all the way back to playing and coaching. He and Sip and all those guys being over there doing what they're doing. Them guys. One thing I like about those guys over in Louisiana, they just jumped in it and got started early in the process. They've been around it for a long time. They take a real pure perspective. But my point is in saying that Avery Jr. is that, when you start to choose a place, you want to choose a man that you can respect both on and off the court. Is going to have a big part of it, because you're going to play basketball for probably a long time, but at some point in time, you're going to have about 30 or 40 years of your life, and the people and the adults that you've surrounded yourself are going to have a lot of influence on the opportunities that you're going to get after basketball. And all those guys that you just named are tremendous when it comes from a relationship, networking, supporting guys. They're good human beings, and they take the rest of it and go with it. But I don't know if you looked at it or who all you feel in that Class 5A situation of who it is that you could end up facing in a regional deal, how exactly that all will break down. Obviously, you've got you all sitting right there. You got Fort Worth, O.D. White. We're waiting for all the brackets and everything.
Yeah.
But to shake down, but in my professional opinion, go ahead, Coach.
No, I just want to. I just want to talk about Avery.
Okay. This is you're talking about Avery's team.
This is all about Avery. I don't even care about
Avery.
I ain't worried about Justin Northwest right now. Okay. This is all about Avery right now.
All right.
Playoffs is coming, and this is my thing. When I'm Avery, you know what? I tease Mr. Branch about the 12 or 13 players in front of you right now. But you know what?
Yes, sir.
That setup, that's where you should be right now. You know that? That's where you should be right now. And the thing that I like about it is that it fits who you are right now, because you a hunter. You are you go out hunting. When you out there on the floor, you out there hunting. You know what I'm saying? And now, with going into your last summer, you've chose Drive the Nation. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on Drive.
Appreciate that.
Congratulations to Drive Nation, for getting you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
but congratulations to them, because now you know, and talking to your dad, I know that they had to, you know, sit down and understand what you're trying to do, you know. So it gives, you're going out and you're hunting versus being the one that's being hunted, you know. So I like that about who you are, because now you ain't there trying to protect nothing. You after something, you know. You're after something. And, you know, I had a kid by the name of Juwan Evans that was in a similar situation like that, and he ended up being the kid that represented the state in the McDonald's game. You know, so because he was hunting. He was always feeling like he was being overlooked, disrespected, and every time they threw the ball out, he wasn't trying to be safe and protect his spot. You know, he was after you. He's after guys.
In pursuit.
And he was in pursuit.
He was competitive.
And that's
I'll give you another guy that was a lot like that.
And that's who Avery is, though. That's who Avery is.
I'm going to give him another guy that was a lot like that. And have you ever heard of a guy, Tim Frazier, before?
Yes, sir.
Right. Tim was there in Houston, and y'all's games were a lot alike. He had a great career at Penn State, and not sure which NBA team he's with right now.
Tim is in Washington.
Okay, went to Washington. I know he was in New Orleans for a minute.
He's in Washington.
Right, but a tremendous kid. Y'all remind each other a lot. You know, obviously I make a living watching kids.
You're right. Tim and Avery, both of them are hunters.
Yeah, I mean,
Avery just 6'3".
Yeah,
Tim was about 6'1".
Yeah, on the court, but at the same time, they both have a real quality character thing going on with them too. That their makeup, you know, from being around both of them and talking to them and visiting and watching their body language and meeting their parents. The parents are both sets of parents for both of these kids. So I think a whole lot, man. I'm going to continue to support you. We're going to continue to support you at the Lonestar Sports Show, Lonestar Sports Network.
That, Coach.
Right.
We're going to bring them back, Coach.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to let them know we got to go to break.
Yeah, we got to go to break right now.
I don't know what their schedule was.
And I want to hear from Louisiana's finest, Coach. Big Avery.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're gonna
Big Avery ain't got no eligibility.
Low key.
Yeah, see, that's why I want him on the line, because he low key. I want to put him out there right now.
Yeah, he done a good job, you know. And Mrs. What's that calling in right? Oh,
okay.
Mrs. Anderson has always been there and been real cordial in the process. But we'll be back in about 120 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show and more of Avery Anderson and Mr. Avery Anderson Sr. on the phone talking about which way we're going and what's going on in Region 1 in the 5A playoffs and how he can lead them to the whole mountaintop.
From dollar bills, now we popping rubber bands. Bruno sang to me while I do my money dance like, hey, flexing on the gram like, hey, hit the Lil Jon, okay. Oh yeah, we dripping and finesse and getting paid.
Ooh, don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night long. Yeah, no, we'll turn heads forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you off. When I'm walking with you, I watch the whole room change. Baby, that's what you do. No, my baby don't play. Bringing all my confidence. I'm playing on your measurements. Shut the shit down on sight. That's right. We out here dripping.
Hey, here we are back at the Lonestar Sports Show. All things sports, all things Texas. Snoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Honor Your Money, Lady Life, keeping us in between the lines. And we're blessed and excited about having Avery Anderson Sr. and Avery Anderson Jr., both point guard at Northwest there, Justin Northwest. They're in Fort Worth in the process of, I feel, my personal opinion, leading them back to San Antonio out of the vehicle of Region 1. And a chance to win 2 games down there to win a state championship.
Coach, before we left,
go ahead.
Before we left, we was talking about something. I want to throw something at Big A. I want to throw something at Big A. Big A, look here.
I'm listening.
Look here. I know earlier, when you get a chance to go back, I don't know if y'all was listening to the show or watching it on YouTube live earlier, but Branch was talking earlier about social media and some of the parents and people who cutting up and stuff like that. And I know you real low key. What do you think about that, man? I mean, these parents that get on social media and they hide behind social media and become big and throwing all these, stuff out there about this and that. What do you think about that, man?
I mean, well, personally, I don't do it, so I don't really like it because it's putting too much of your grown folk business out there. And it's, you're letting people know what's going on in your household. So that's one thing, I teach mine not to do. And if he, do it, I catch it. Like soon as he tweets something, my phone go off too, so I keep tab on all that stuff. So basically, it start inside. It start at the house,
So that's basically, if you're talking to a kid right now that's a sophomore, freshman, 8th grader parent, that's basically the advice you give to them.
Leave your personal business,
Right.
Well, I mean, Avery Senior. And don't want to take this moment away from Avery Jr., but I totally agree with you. The one key point you said, grown folks' business. I mean, kids are not prepared, and that's not what this interview is about. It's about Avery Jr., but I totally agree with what you're saying, is that, kids shouldn't be involved in. If you and I have something to discuss, or Stoop and I have something to discuss, it shouldn't be handled out where a bunch of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids are sitting there evaluating the deal. Right. And if more people felt like it, Mr. Anderson, I feel like a lot of I can't come up with a better word than mess, and the distraction.
Right.
Because it's all about, and you got Mr. Avery Sr., if Miss Anderson was here on the deal, and you have Avery Jr., and they will let you know that Alan Branch has never been about nothing but the positive and the growth and the development opportunities.
Never saw anything.
Yeah, never seen anything.
She's sitting there listening or watching, Coach.
Yeah, because she knows me very well.
If Lil Avery is on this line right now, she's listening or watching.
Well, she just didn't have a chance to feed in. She can stick it in, But my point is, I'm just trying to use it as a model to reach out to help try to clean the community and clean this operation up. That's the only reason I'm taking this time to say this, man. I mean, and you, Avery Jr., one day you're going to be a man with a family and managing your process. And grown folks are grown folks and children. And Avery Anderson Jr. has never, with body language, with language or any action, ever shown any disrespect toward an adult, including myself, in any of the time. And I watched him play a lot.
Well, he's a college coach. He's a college coach's dream. I mean, he's a college coach's dream. But bigger than that, I want Lil Avery to think way bigger than that, because Avery, I coached a lot of them, and I think you got a chance to be a pro. And the thing about it is, because you love basketball, don't get caught up on the day-to-day who's ranked ahead of me. Okay,
yes, sir.
The rankings is business. That's business. Okay, all you worried about is this next question I'm finna ask you. If I'm scouting Avery Anderson, what do you think your weakness is right now?
I feel like my weakness is right now just my like bigness. Like
you want to be big and stronger.
My size.
Right. Okay. Let me tell you about that. If a college coach, if the only thing they can say when they evaluate Avery Anderson is that he needs to get stronger, that's when you got a pro coach.
Well, I mean,
that's when you got a pro coach,
and that's true.
They pay a guy $200,000-$300,000 to fix that.
Hey, and Tim Frazier is playing in the NBA, and he still never got bigger and stronger.
To fix that.
So I mean, it's not necessarily going to be a fact of the whole deal. The thing is that I know people get tired of hearing it, Avery, you just continue to work, son. You're talented. You have a tremendous feel for the game. You got an IQ.
Appreciate that, coach.
You really don't have a weakness.
Yeah,
Don't
start chasing numbers, watching people numbers because your game is right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Don't look up and be like, they talking about that dude and he had 39 last night. If you go get 39 or 41, let it be because we trying to win, and that's what my team needs. Don't mess your game.
Absolutely.
Don't mess your game up. Trust me, I'm telling you now.
No, you have no reason to get out of character right now or to lose your mind. I mean, you're one of the quality players. You know, people always talk about who's ranked, what, where. Well, if you look back at TexasBoysBasketball.com, 1 through 20, 1 through 15, 1 through 18, 1 through 23 have all gone to top 6 conferences in the country.
That's a good list in front of him, Coach.
Yeah.
That's a good list in front of him. The thing Avery did last year, he experimented last year, and he bagged up the guys that's in front of him.
Yeah.
Now he got his own show at the right time, though. He got his own show. The only thing I want Avery to do, you know what I want you to do, Avery? I want you to be a dog. I want you to be a dog on defense, just like you're a dog on offense.
Sir.
Whoever line up in front of you, whoever line up in front of you is terrified on defense. When when they throw the ball in, I don't want you picking them up in half court. I want you to pick up in full court, and I want them to be just as terrified with handling the ball in front of you with them long arms and all that quickness and speed. I want them to be just as terrified bringing the ball up the floor as they are trying to stay
in front of you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's some good basketball coaching information, and Coach Snoop is coming out of Coach Snoop right now. And
Coach, he going to
appreciate that.
We going to the league. He going to the league, Coach.
Yeah, I mean,
he going to the league.
Has a tremendous opportunity.
I'm putting a stamp on it. I don't call a lot of them pros, Coach. You know that now. I don't call a lot of them
between
pros.
the two of us, both of us have been really accurate and over the situation, but
I just don't want you chasing. I just don't want you chasing what they talking about on Twitter, like who in front of who in front of who. I mean, them ain't the folks you trying to impress.
And the deal is, man, when you start looking at stuff like this right here, and Twitter, Snoop Johnson says it's business. I don't know if I totally agree with that. Sometimes it's gut. It's about
scouting service is business.
Scouting service is a business, but where you rank guys is not a business. Because it's a business for you, for Snoop Johnson, for Texas boys basketball. Some of these guys I've seen more. When I see them play better, you know, like the worst thing in the world was the night that he had the 25 in the second half. I wasn't even there.
Let me ask you this, Coach. Let me ask you this. Okay. Now I know the public can read these rankings. Okay. College coaches, to read them rankings and them evaluations, do they get it free?
No, do
they get it free?
But it has nothing to do with the business side of it.
That's a business.
I got to be accurate on that side, Coach.
That's a business.
Coach, this is a total distraction away from Avery Anderson Jr.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
But the reality of it, I got to be accurate. I got more accountability when I'm talking to a college coach than I'm talking to an everyday Joe out there on the street.
But I understand you talking about your evaluation is, that's not business. But I'm talking about the rankings all together. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't see what you're saying. We'll talk about that later.
Alan Branch ain't the only one. You ain't the only one ranking kids. That's what I'm sitting there saying. You can speak on Texas boys basketball's ranking.
Yeah, and that's the only one I want to speak on.
Okay, well, just say that. Don't see. I take when y'all go in there and say in general,
go in there and say
Texas boys basketball.
Coach, this is the Lonestar Sports Show. Alan Branch, TexasBoysBasketball.com.
I made the comment. I said rankings.
Well, you see what I got to go through?
I said rankings. Well, is that what I said, y'all? I said rankings.
Avery Jr.
That's good dialogue.
That's all about. That's what leadership. When you get involved in leadership, you got to be able to manage all.
Everybody look over
going
here.
on.
This person might have him this. This person might have him that. That person might have. I mean,
and none of that even matters.
Why don't?
Yes, sir.
No, none of it matters because
To
when he
you.
goes and play, when he goes and plays.
When
I get ready to talk, when I get ready to talk to Will Wade, when I get ready to talk to Lon,
but that's what I was talking about right there. You said none of it matters until besides him going to play.
Right.
And that's what I was trying to tell him.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to tell him is that's just business. The flow is his business. His business is on the court.
His business is on the court.
You take care of what's on the court and let your daddy and mama take care of off the court.
Like I always tell them all the time is you do your part, I do my part. And I got about $500 million worth of salaries in the NBA to go with.
I'm looking over here on the Lonestar Network chat board. Big E, the director over at Dallas Showtime, say Avery's much higher on the Dallas Showtime report.
Now that's the business side of it right there. When you start trying to manipulate the game.
Yeah, Big E, appreciate that.
Yeah. That's the whole deal, man. Well, it's been a lot of fun having you guys on.
Appreciate you for having us.
I think it's just you have a huge flexibility in your style, ability to play half court, ability to play up and down. I do like what Stu Johnson told you on the defensive side, and I don't want to have time to get into modeling you and telling you the advantage of that.
Before we get off, one thing I like to do, we just talked to RJ about it. Is it anything that's going on off the floor, social media wise, or something you're doing over in the neighborhood, and the community?
And where do you see yourself after basketball?
That don't have nothing to do with basketball. Is it something that Avery Anderson want the general public to know about him that they might not know about him? You got a minute or minute and a half or whatever.
You got 2 minutes.
It's on you. Mm-hmm. It's on you.
Avery Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I ain't hear what you
said. Okay. Anything that the general public that's listening, it's something that they don't know about you that don't have nothing to do with basketball. That somebody don't know about you.
Or where do you see yourself after basketball?
Or something after basketball. Yeah.
I see myself after basketball is just probably being the coach.
Okay.
And just bringing the kids my knowledge of the game like y'all doing right now.
Okay. Well,
is there anything you got going on away from the court? That people need to be following. Is it anything outside that you want following? In social media or blogs or.
What's your Twitter account? Let me broadcast
my
that. My
Twitter account. Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Avery Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
3_.
3_.
You getting that for yourself? Or?
Yeah, I'm getting that for myself.
Okay, I know you
push it out there. Yeah.
Push it out there.
Yeah,
Coach, you ain't got to push out there. Talking about push it out there. Everybody in America know Avery Anderson's social media. Talking about push it out there. Oh, you trying to feel good? Alan Brent's finna put him out there.
Boy, Coach,
Alan Brent's finna put you out there.
Snoop Johnson is a piece of work now, boy.
Alan Brent, you finna put him out there?
I've been putting him out there. He's right there, Coach.
You finna get him out there? I know. Coach, I know what you did for Juwan Evans.
Yeah.
As soon as he came down, I said, this the one finna push it. I said, this the one finna get us to Chicago. Y'all do your part. Y'all do your part.
I would do your part, man.
I'm gonna let Mr. Branch handle the politics, and we finna go to Chicago to the McDonald's game.
As we get ready to wind this thing down, man, like I said, y'all are a tremendous family, extremely excited and proud of you. Avery Anderson Jr.
Love this family. I love this family, man.
All the way back from the 8th grade to coming all the way in when I first met you guys, and just the consistency and understanding what it's about, and realize that you're going to have plenty of opportunities and continue to carry yourself, and wherever you all end up. First of all,
we're going to end up in New York, Coach, at the draft.
Congratulations on everything.
That's where we're going to end
up. Y'all
got
some crawfish coming to y'all, boy.
That's where we're going to that's where we're going to end up. See, the thing about New York, you can't have all them choices. You got one option. Yeah. One option is we going to New York.
Hey, Lonestar Sports Show right here. Give it to you like it is. Had Avery Anderson Sr. and Jr. on, number 13 player in the state of Texas and one of the top point guards in the state of Texas and in the country right now.
There you go.
Leading along the deal. We're running on to get time break now, Coach. We'll be back with you in 180 seconds with
Appreciate
more
y'all, man.
Lonestar Sports Show. Hey, I'll see y'all in the playoffs, man.